is a Monday morning, and you guys know that means your cup of coffee and Rogue Actions with Heinze and Cubs fan Han. Heinze, how you doing over there down under?
Good morning, Cubs. Good morning, fam. Great to be back, as always, on time again. So two in a row. We're starting to get a streak up and running again. So, yeah, we're back to our normal scheduled programming, ladies and gentlemen.
I was stoked to hear that you had the Grand Admiral on the Gridsy session Friday night. I heard you had a great turnout.
Fun. Yeah, that was really great. I mean, you've had him before, Cubs. It's always great to have a chat with him. He's a great guy, obviously iconic in our community, and just like yourself, man. It's an honor to be doing this every week. Like, I used to watch you, and of course watch Arnold as well, and to be able to. You guys even know I exist, mate. It's a huge honor. It really is for both of you.
I would bring if I came on the Gridsy session, I would literally bring dozens of people with me.
What do you mean when?
The Grand Admiral brought like 800 people, I heard, which was awesome. It
doesn't matter. Mate, it doesn't matter. I don't care about that. I had a great time. That's all I care about. Honestly.
I think it's great. I'm stoked that the Gridsy session got that much attention. It deserves it.
Mate, it's been a real purple patch on Friday nights lately for us. It's been really fun. But, mate, it's not a case of if you come on the Gridsy. It's a case of when. I want you on. You just got to tell me when you're free, man, and it's a done deal. Straight up.
Hey, dude, I'm always open to coming on. That's just it's not me you got to ask. It's my missus you got to ask because Friday nights are family time.
Ask Mrs. Cubs, not this week coming. How about the following week? Will that work? Can you check with Mrs. Cubs for me? See if we can make that work in a couple of weeks.
Here's what I'll do. I'll find a Friday and I'll let you know. But yeah,
tell me which Friday and I'll work around that. That's
I would love to join you guys for a full Gridsy session. That's great. So tell me some highlights before we get into Rogue Action Day. Give me some highlights from having Arnold on the show. I bet it was fun.
It was great. I mean, to have a behind the scenes chat, how he prepares, what he does, how much work's involved, just as a streamer.
That would be cool because his production is insanity.
It was great. We had a bit of a chat about all the preparation, of course, how he does a lot of, and this is something I didn't realize. Firstly, he's Polish, speaks Polish, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know that, but he does a lot of pro bono work for law still. I
didn't
thought
know that.
he actually. I didn't realize he was still practicing. I thought that he obviously was streaming, but had obviously the degree. But he actually does a lot of pro bono work
good for
on
him.
the side,
That's great.
which is obviously that's absolutely huge. So that was really cool. Had a chat, of course, about how him and CG are just there's a little bit of friction there. So we had a bit of a chat about that one, and that was fun. That was a great little chat. And we also talked about you and him, mate. The love's still there. Love's still there, Cubs. I asked him, you still love my boy Cubs? And yeah, man, the love's still real. So you're all good.
Oh, I would expect nothing less. Nothing less. We both have busy schedules, so yeah. I mean, hopefully, I'm sure we'll do something at some point in the future. But I'm just stoked that he made it on the Gridsy session. The Gridsy session deserves it.
Fun.
So
it was fun. Thank you, brother.
All right. Speaking of Cubs fan Han needing attention, Fortmort gave me a little bit of attention here, and this is his Will Smith
Chip harder, bro.
Chip harder, bro meme to me.
Big props to Mort for this one. I saw this, and as the moment I saw it, I laughed my head off.
That's pretty good.
The next moment, I sent it straight to you and said, "This must go on Monday." And mate, that is some beautiful work.
And a lot of times, you've sent me a meme of the week, and I kind of been like, how about this one?
Yeah.
But this time I was like, yeah, no, that's the one.
Needs to happen. This needs to happen. But no, it's an absolute classic. But no, love our boy Mort. And pretty funny stuff, mate. Well done. Good job.
Sounds good. Okay, we got to dispel a myth here, guys, to start this video out. Now, I have seen in the community, the only reason we're addressing this in the video because I've seen this so many times now at this point. There's a lot of speculation that because this road ahead was so light, that there must be another road ahead coming with Crumb featured because Crumb was not featured in this road ahead, and now ex-CG employee Doja is the only one in there. Now, Heinze, I just wanted to get your thoughts first. I have a very specific reason why I think this isn't happening, but I'm curious what you think about those rumors.
I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that's true, guys. simple question is, why would they do two? It makes no sense. The production and the time of making these, and as well as I do, Cubs, when they produce these, they don't just make them and post them. They certainly need to, go through the system, right? When it comes to making these sorts of,
they have more corporate red tape to worry about at CG, I can imagine, than anyone, because they've got not just EA to worry about, not just their own boss at CG, but they got Lucasfilm to worry about, and the mouse. And the mouse is very strict, guys.
Needs to tick that stuff off. That's what I hear. And with that in mind, why would, when you're going to go through all that trouble, creating one of these videos and these posts with the road ahead, why would you do two? It just doesn't logistically make any sense. From a resource point of view, it's silly. So no, I don't believe that's the case. Doja obviously, took it under his wing. There'd be some sort of reason, maybe Crumb wasn't available or something when they were recording it, something along those lines. I think it might be just a schedule conflict, maybe, where they couldn't both do it together. I think Doja certainly just, and maybe, of course, now knowing that, he's obviously no longer with us in the community, maybe he wanted to go out with a bang, mate, and, give us a bit of a goodbye with the road ahead on the way through. So that could be it too.
So 2 points. Number one, the very first line says, "Welcome to the March 2022 road ahead."
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. The. Number two, I think it makes a lot of sense that Crumb was not involved in the road ahead, because Crumb is any day away from having a baby.
Yeah, that's right.
I think he's already gone on paternity leave. And listen,
very close to, if he's not already. Yeah. So obviously,
he's got enough on his mind right now. That's a stressful time right before baby comes.
Yeah, I see Doja probably going, you know what, you got enough on your plate right now, Crumb. Let me take care of this one, mate. That's how I feel. I think Doja's that kind of guy. Obviously, we've been speaking to him a lot lately, and I think he's the kind of guy that would step up and help out if it needed to be done. And I think that's exactly what's happening in this case.
We don't want to sprinkle water on your fire, guys, if you're really holding out hope for a second road ahead. But I think that needs to kind of be let go, because that's just that's not happening.
Correct.
100% happening. All right. Now I want to call out. I got sent this video today. From the Gerbil. Now, the Gerbil's a great dude. I would recommend. I'm gonna put a link to this video down below. Go give him a sub. And I'm gonna go ahead and show my support. Drop a like on the video. I'm already subscribed, by the way. Check that out.
Nice work. Yeah, everyone loves a good old Gerbil.
Almost unanimously, the community has a problem, Heinze, with the fleet expansion to 3 for Kyber League. There are some dissenting opinions out there that I've seen, both in my comments, some not so polite dissenting opinions, but others that are very polite, like the Gerbil here, who just offer a differing perspective. And one of the points that Gerbil makes really well in this video, I'd recommend watching the whole thing, that we probably did not give enough credit to, is the idea that you can get away with fleets being just 5 ships in those fleets, 5 or even 6. You don't need to go full reinforcements to have a good fleet setup. A lot of times you can get away with just 2. And he does a little speculation in his video too, showing that if we just added a few ships here, including the A-Wing, which we don't think is necessarily coming, but maybe we get the Sith capital ship, which I think is definitely possible. And then he has another Rebel capital ship possibility. Maybe we could get, Red 5, which it looks like he's predicting here, and some other ships. We could potentially be seeing a situation here before too long where we have 10 fleets that are viable to use in Grand Arena. Now, if that was the case, if we did get to this place, I think I might not have as much of a problem with the expansion to 3. But the thing is, Heinze, the biggest point I want to make to the Gerbil here and to anyone who's kind of subscribing to this ideology is we're not here right now. We're at a place now where at best we have 7 fleets, and that still leaves you with only one option if you fail. So I really hope that we get to this point, because I would feel better about it, and he could be right that we're moving that direction, but I just don't know. I don't know if this really soothes me.
Yeah, I want to give certainly Gerbil some love. So, great work on a great video.
Absolutely.
Let's start with that. So, mate, congratulations. Full kudos there. Yeah. With that being said, I'm about to go, like many of us, of course, straight into 3v3 with the current fleet loadouts and teams that we have. And mate, there's no other word for it. It's going to be bull. It really is. It's going to be horrible. Make no mistake. There's a lot of throwing darts at a dartboard with obviously what our boy Gerbils has done above me here, and that's fine. That's okay, and that might be the case in time. But one thing that CG is really good at, Cubs, and I think you'll agree, is that they love creating a problem and then creating a solution for that problem that generally you need to purchase or farm over the long term. And this change that I've seen, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on, but this change is certainly a long-term goal. I don't think it's a short-term. It's definitely going to be a short-term problem. Yeah. Like a lot of things that we have to do in this game, it's always you look at it off the rip and it's like, this is going to be horrific. And then gradually they bring in new fleets and new ships and new content that certainly make those events easier. I mean, look at every raid we've done. You know, you do it the first time, Cubs, and then a new character comes out and you can solo the damn thing. I mean, that's the perfect example, right? So ships, I believe, will be that case in time if they continue to invest more resources into them. But there's a lot of predictions and speculation in that list above. And like you said, it's very rare, honestly, that most people set full fleets, you know, at all. Like the fleets I set on defense, I really can't remember the last time I filled all the slots, you know, because you want certain ships to come out in certain order in a lot of cases. I mean, the bounty hunter one, you can put more in there with the executor, but honestly, you want to make sure the bounty hunter ships come out, nothing else.
I almost wish that they would, I think a change that CG could make that I would be really happy to see is if they just knocked the reinforcement to 2. You can only reinforce with 2.
That would certainly free things up a little bit and make it a little bit more interesting. Definitely. But how many times have we been caught on a timeout with 1 ship left? The way it is at the moment with 5 slots. So the way the timing works with the fleet battles, I think you'd really have to adjust the time of the battles as well in line with that. And I think that would be a heck of a lot more difficult to make happen, maybe. You know, it's a radical change to the overall gameplay. So I think they've got it to the point where they've had the slots dialed in that if you need to battle for the full 5 minutes, well, you still have a chance of timing it out. If you shorten it, well, you're guaranteed to get a win or a loss, right? So I think they've dialed it in pretty evenly. But no, Gerbils, I'm not having a crack at you, mate. Let's be clear, but there's a lot of throwing.
No, it's a good video, and I do appreciate the optimism. It's always good to have the optimism in the community, and hopefully we do see
100%.
some of these changes. I think out of everything he presented, the thing that makes the most sense to me is that we would get the Sith capital ship. I think that based on the current makeup of the fleets we do have, that would be the easiest way for CG to kind of introduce a viable 8th fleet.
We could get the Ravager in, which obviously that's been, you know, touted as a possible option with the leak, right? Yeah. And the Ravager could come in, and it could be just full of ghost ships. You don't need any other ships. The capital ship on its own does the job. I mean, there's an extra fleet in your fleet slot. You know, that's the thing. So, you know, there's certainly ways and means of making something like that work, guys, over time. But that's the thing. It's going to take time. And until then, it's going to be pretty bloody painful for anyone, especially lower than Kyber 1 in GAC. They're not going to have the roster depth that you're going to need to fill these slots. It's just not going to happen. So you're going to find empty slots on fleets. But then on the flip side, you need to be more strategic in setting your ground teams as well to try and block them from opening ships at all. So, you know, you can look at it that way where you need to rethink your strategy on how you play GAC.
Go watch Gerbil's video, guys. Link down below. Tell us what you think, because he presents the information better than we just summarized it. And then, of course, you got to jump over and watch Heinze's video because Heinze and I are not done. We still got 3 more topics to get to. So we're jumping over there right now. As always, my brothers, don't forget, Heinze's Days.